Well, it's Veterans Day. I know we're supposed to say great things and feel good, but on this one, I'm going to make it all about me. Why? Because you have. Flint went out right there. Look at that. Oh, gotcha. There's always a little bit left. There are people in this past election cycle, they see observations that I make because remember, I'm a military man. They told us way back when we're not supposed to choose who our boss is supposed to be. I questioned that, but, well, never really mattered much. I've only voted a couple times in my life, and it was when it mattered. Most of these people that make a big deal about being in the military, and I mention it every once in a while, but only when it's applicable, only when it relates to the situation I'm speaking of. I never even wore any of my old military stuff. You know, I didn't do anything. My old field jackets until my hair grew out long enough. And then people would think that I was just a hippie and against it. I wasn't against it. It's just I didn't want to be noticed. But I've had people yelling at me in these comments saying, "You weren't military. What do you know? You weren't military." And I'm like, oh, come on, man. So here it is. Some of this stuff was already here. But in addition to that, I went up to my dead dad's house this weekend, and there were boxes that were separated, stuff that was mine. And so I figure I could share it with you a little bit. Oh, look, I'm going to take off my sexy grandpa hat. And I'm going to put on a cunt cap straight from basic training. Before, this didn't belong there before. I'm trying to hide it. They gave us this in basic training. We got to wear it. And in these things I found from my mother, in case you don't really believe that I was in the military, look at this. I've never seen these photos in my life. My mother kept things separated. She's been dead for years. But remember, I was the favorite. Look, there's the cadre from Alpha 246. We don't do it just for kicks. Tough soldier, drill sergeant, tough soldier who and there's drill sergeant. He said you call him drill sergeant Maha because if you fuck up his name, you're going to do push-ups. But I knew how to say his name, drill sergeant Mahabir Singh. And then there's drill sergeant Gita. He was hitting on my sister when they came down for family day weekend. He's like, oh, nobody knew me until my sister showed up. He's like, oh, that's your sister, Japan. Yeah. So that's a picture of our people. And if I could make up names like this for people out of a crowd, I'd probably write a book. But I'm not that creative. I just have a bunch of weird shit happen to me. And look at that. That's me. I had to look for me. I'd never seen this picture. And I'm either that one or like one over here. but I meant it. Everybody in the household, they looked, we all found it. And it's like, gosh, that's me. That's my basic training, my platoon at Alpha 246. And yeah, and look, you don't want to believe it. Look, there he is. There's a 17-year-old guy. And you notice nothing on the chest. It was still basic training. That's a true basic training picture. And my mother, she came down for Family Day weekend. She said to my best friend that was there, she's like, "Is he okay?" He told me later. And he's like, "Yeah, he's fine." She says he sends such friendly letters, such optimistic, such joyous. I had a great time in basic training, shooting rifles, throwing grenades, crawling through the mud. I mean, I was at Fort Knox, Kentucky for basic. We got to do the same obstacle course that they did in the movie Stripes. You know how cool that is? There was one point at Clothing and Sales when they made us pick up all our stuff. They made us put it on to be sure that we had it. And I had my boots, my rubber over boots that nobody ever wore, but they were signed to us. I had them. I put them on. They looked so similar to each other that I got them on the wrong feet. And I'm standing there looking with that buddy, Chris Riley of mine, the one that my mother asked, "Is he okay?" Because he looks so angry. Oh, look how angry he is. And we're laughing. I'm like, "Look at that." And the drill sergeant comes by, he says, and it was Mahabir Singh. He says, "What the fuck is so funny?" And it's like, my boots, they're wrong on the wrong feet. And he looks at me, he says, "What's so funny about that?" I said, "It's just so ridiculous, drill sergeant." And we all started laughing, and the drill sergeant's just staring at me, and he walked off. They didn't know what to do with me right from the beginning. How are you going to hold that against me? You going to say I wasn't in the military? They let me in. They trained me in their secrets. They taught me the place where it is, where they brainwash people. It's in the bayonet place. Anybody that wants to deny that I was in the military, just listen to this. You may recognize it, but I'm pretty sure if you're denying it, you didn't see it happening to you because you buy into it so well. What's the spirit of the bayonet? To kill, drill sergeant, to kill. What's the bayonet need? Blood, 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 drill sergeant. And I'm looking around and the foggy glaze over people's eyes as they're doing this. I'm doing this and I realize I'm looking around in a crowd of people, and I said, "This is where they brainwash us." And I started giggling and saying, "To kill, drill sergeant, to kill." That's why they never got me, because I saw the moment. And other people take it on, and especially those that don't go to war, they want to kill drill sergeants, they want to kill, but oh gosh, yeah, too bad we didn't have the guts to go overseas and stick around until we had a real war. It makes it so much more, it's so simple. It's so much more convenient to be able to have a war from your own home. You know, you never have to leave the house except on Tuesdays. "Oh, they're over there. They're coming again." Oh, you might have to stay at your friend's house on the couch for a while because they've got yours burned down by now. But yeah. Happy Veterans Day. Okay, so that was basic training, 87. There's even a calendar in there with my face on it that starts with July because that's when I got there. That's the military did it that way. It starts with July and then goes till June the next year. they sent something to my mom. My mom had all this stuff. I didn't know this stuff even existed until I picked it up from my dead dad's house. So then I went from basic, and you know, I never had to do AIT because I had acquired civilian skills. I had a specific set of skills that I didn't have to be trained, and I went straight from there. Oh, you see that? That if you watch any of the old World War II movies with paratroopers, it's got one of those on it. That's the paraglider parachute symbol. And if you weren't one of them, you probably wouldn't know what it is. Then I go to jump school in Fort Benning, Georgia. And look, my mom had this picture. Look at that guy. And if you notice, there's no there aren't any jump wings on there. They took the pictures before you ever graduated. That's almost like a curse, you know. But look at him. Look, that's me. Believe it or not, I was 17 even then, and so oh, you see, you want more provenance. You want to know more that I was there, you fucking people? Look, you see that? Verse the 507. I'll read it to you in a minute. This is the one that was on that. I bought my own braid because I ran in. They said never do that. It was like a curse. You're not supposed to buy a braid before you graduate. Yet they'll take a picture before you do. But they said not to do it, and I said fuck it, I'm buying it. I was hanging out with rangers that I met in a taxi cab. For some reason, they took me under their wing. They wanted me to be one of them, baby, and they're how could they not? That's what I'm trying to talk to these people about. How could they not? How can't you trust me? I don't demand loyalty. I don't even demand trust. But if you don't trust me, I question your common sense. So this is what was on it. It's first the 507th. Geez, I can never remember that. It was in 1987. Can you read this, baby? What's at the bottom there?
Down to earth.
Down to earth. You're going to say you don't remember that, you really weren't in. Well, you know what? 1987. It's a 3-week fucking airborne training program. I was there for 4 because I showed up early. So there's something. This one, I had to take this off and replace it with this. This is I maintain the right. That's the engineers, the 307th Engineer Battalion. The Muse Stick, we maintained the right in World War II, the right flag, the right flank. I say I maintain the right, just saying I did it, and it's my right to fucking live by it. And so you got that? I mean, look at that. My mom had that on the wall. That's me as an adult. But see, why is he so angry? I was trying to look mean. And anybody wants to question that? Look, see? 307th Engineer Battalion. airborne, all that stuff. Desert Shield, Desert Storm. That's our war book. It's got pictures. Oh, look. This is one from the office of special assistant. I'm reading it backwards in this thing for Gulf War illnesses. Dear Gulf War veteran, this came to me. I'm sending this letter because we have determined that your unit was near Qamishia, Iraq in early March 91. My purpose is to update you on our investigation of U.S. demolitions of Iraqi weapons at Qamishia, and what this may mean for you. When rockets were destroyed in the pit area on March 10th, low levels of nerve agents, sarin and cyclosarin, may have been released in the air. If you were within, and I was at that because I'm an engineer. We blow shit up. There were artillery rounds coming in and spinning around us, and on the radio, it's like, holy shit, they fucked it up. You know, there was stuff blowing out all over. We were far away, and there are artillery rounds coming and spinning in between the Humvees, and everybody's diving. And I just kind of got on the side of my Humvee because I'm a driver. I'm a winner. Things are going to change. And I'm like, ooh, wow, watch me spin around. And I hear on the radio over the prick and the prick 77 in the Humvee, it's saying, some guy's saying, we got rounds coming in. And somebody else is saying, it doesn't matter, they're not armed. He says, not armed, my ass. We got people bleeding over here. There was shit exploding. And so this is a letter asking how I'm feeling. And this is something I always said, I'm not fucking telling you until I feel it. Because if I say I'm not feeling it, then you're going to say you were okay before. And, you know, that's what that one guy's kid, Bo Biden, died of fucking fire pits and shit like that, brain cancer. I mean, I was around, they were burning the goddamn oils where I was, that you could look at the sun in the daytime because it was so fucking blocked out. It's like, that's pretty cool. I saw a little black spot on the sun one day. So, look, there. Where do you think you get something like this? And there's the guy in the front of the book that died. I'm sure I've got my DD 214 in here. I don't need to go through all of this. There's another one. That's from Army headquarters, mailed to the commander of headquarters and headquarters, come 307th engineer, attention, me, specialist J. Archer Elderquist. It's -2 spelling. See, this is how you know. This is how you know that it's real. Because there was a typo. This is back in the day when people had to type things out for themselves. Look, it says Fort Gregg, North Carolina. And I didn't even have to look at the zip code, 28307. And there's an 867 prefix in Vietnam, as my recruiter called it, Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's an 867 prefix on making a phone call. I know this because it was, I think it was 919, and then 867 was in Fayetteville, because I once called 867-5309. I did this. People always talk about things they're going to do. I did it. And there 867-5309. And there was an answer, a woman. I said, hello, is Jennifer there? And the woman on the other end of the line, she says, "Oh no, she's not home right now. Maybe try later." I said, "Okay, thank you." And I hung up and I said, "Holy shit. Is there really a person named Jennifer there, or is this woman so used to getting this call?" Because, "Jenny, I got your number, 8675309. You want to check for Providence about me being in the military? Happy Veterans Day. It's too bad you have to accept me as one of your own. I was better than you. And that's what you don't like. It's not something that I'm proud of. It's just funny to me. I was better than you. You, why don't you just shut the fuck up? You can't convince anybody that doesn't want to be convinced. Remember that." And then there's the commander. There are letters in here of me changing the Humvee. The Humvee manual. Oh, and you know what? Anybody wants to question anything? I got dead people pictures. You look closely enough, you'll see dead people pictures. And I'm in them. A lot of dead people in here, too. They were friends of mine. And so, oh, what is that? Oh, that's that guy again. So I got this cap on now. And, well, I guess I have to change it. Because, oh, if you don't want to believe that it's me, this is here. They gave this to me at the end. Not everybody gets one of these. I got one. And if you look really closely, you might believe that's a picture of me. But I wore that, and I wore that, and I got accolades. I'm one of the few people you'll ever meet that they hated the whole fucking time. I stood in front of the commander's desk many times at attention, and every time it said "case dismissed." They were trying to get me the whole time, and by the end of it, when I left, they give me that. And so I get out. Oh, it's been a while since that's been opened up. Now the cunt cap on my head. I know people are going to get upset about me saying cunt cap, but it's a common military phrase. And even if it weren't, the things they say on TV from one side to the other and don't allow to go back the other way, we're reaching a time where there will be no more being able to tell somebody how to express themselves. I got out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to grow up into this fucking hat. This is mine. This is my VFW cap. People that are in the American Legion don't get one of these unless they join the American Legion instead of the VFW if they choose something. But you can be in the American Legion as a veteran of a foreign war, but you cannot be in the Veterans of Foreign War as somebody that didn't go to war. So I wear this hat. Well, it's mine. You see how long it's been since I opened it up. Couldn't you hear it creaking? This is mine. Anybody that wants to believe and yell and complain when they hear something they don't want to hear from a veteran, what did I do? Did I steal my twin brother's things? Did I steal his identity? I never had a twin brother. I've never found my twin brother. I'm thinking I was switched at birth. There's a guy out there that's in a mental institute right now because the family that I came from got him. And they wonder what's wrong with him. He's sitting in a corner shaking, going, ah! And he probably ended up in an institution. Where's the family I got? Ah, I was 7 pounds and 11 ounces at birth. Standing at a very early age on my own feet going, that family I got, they were probably more scared of me than that kid over there was of his family, because they're like, what did we get? I didn't steal anything from anybody. And I don't take pride in things. However, it's all me. It's Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a day to remember your heroes, not to glorify people who have yet to do anything at all. All the people that are wanting to burn down this nation that never did get to go to war like it's a big deal. They haven't done anything yet. And if they speak of doing something like that, then they have sullied the meaning of what it is to be a veteran who took an oath. Not only did I take an oath, I can tell you, standing in basic training the one day, the guy comes up, what's your third general order? You're supposed to know the whole book. I learned it all. And it's the only one I remember, the only general order I ever remember, because it's the one they asked me. And I answered, what's your third general order? Drill sergeant, third general order. I wrote it down just to be sure. I will not leave my post until properly relieved. And that's the thing. I'm not going to quit talking about these fuckers that haven't done a goddamn thing and that were just ne'er-do-wells. Got out. They want to fight. They haven't done anything. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that was in the military ever and is in a militia right now trying to overthrow the Constitution they took an oath to support and defend, they are not veterans. They're rogues, and they don't deserve respect until they do something that makes this country better. And all they're interested in doing is making it worse and thinking that they will see it get better for themselves. Anybody that cares only about themselves is not worthy of respect. I am concerned with my own well-being, but I choose to treat those around me in a fine manner so that they treat me that way too. It's the pebble in the pond. What goes out comes back. Fucking happy Veterans Day, all you lackluster sons of bitches that have forgotten the faces of your fathers.